Together, my partner and I got married in September 2013. We had a good first year as husband and wife. We started arguing more often over time. I thought he liked to gamble. He knew he owed a lot of money and admitted bad behavior. Not matter how many times he lied, I was ready to give him another chance. 3 months later, my bank called to demand payment. Knowing that he kept betting shocked and disgusted me. We even received a mortgage for our house. Due to these injuries and setbacks, I was thoroughly unhappy. It surprised me to find out that he had lied to me. Although he bowed and begged my forgiveness, I didn't know what to think. It was unclear if he would turn around. I asked to have some time to think about this. Needed some time away from him. I told him my choice, and he seemed insulted. He refused to leave and kept begging me for another chance and saying he would change. Although it was hard, I knew that leaving him was the right thing to do. Lastly, I told him he needed to really think about his problems. I wanted him to have more responsibility as he grew up. I moved into a new room and started living by myself. Although I was sad and disappointed, I became more optimistic and confident. Despite the difficulties, I learned a great deal. Learning how to defend myself was helpful. After adjusting to reality for 3 months, I filed for divorce from my husband. We needed to get a divorce and start a new life, so I quickly took care of our money problems. My husband and lawyer were supposed to meet at my house one time. After carefully weighing our combined assets and debts, we chose to end our relationship. Dealing with my failed marriage made this process stressful. Getting a fair deal was made a lot easier by my lawyer. We signed the divorce papers. Next week, we finalized the split. Almost time to take a shower and go to bed that night. I heard footsteps and looked up to see my husband. His response when I asked him why he had my house key was to freeze. I was scared by that. It was beyond my comprehension why he was in my house. He wanted the money too because I had some. Initially, I said no to what he asked. He told me he needed the money for bills, but I could never trust him again. I knew that if he had money, he would gamble, which would worsen our issues. That made me feel awful when I saw him. Suddenly, he wasn't even my best friend. I was crushed beyond belief. Not anymore did I give him money. Don't let him hurt me anymore. It was already too late for me to trust him when he said he would change. His behavior became hostile and angry when I said no to him. In my prayer, I asked God to help me. He apologized and asked for money. Required to call the police, I sprinted into the bedroom while he was away. He stormed into the bedroom and started yelling right as I was about to open the door. His spirit seemed to have been taken by the devil. The table ashtray fell on my head. "I'm going to kill you. Get down on the floor." And this time I almost got up and ran when he grabbed me again. As usual, he hit me in the head with the ashtray. I could take no more pushback. I had hearing loss and fuzzy vision. It looked like I was going into a tube. It was clear that my prayers had been heard. Adopted God's direction and love. Then I felt surrounded by a bright love that would last forever. I really believed that God was holding me. How to describe my surroundings? God's love completely surrounded me. There was a fast movement in my soul. Beyond divine aura, it was peaceful. Gorgeous page. It wasn't painful or stressful, and my spirit felt clean. Seeing the white gate ahead of me let me know where I needed to go. An angel welcomed me at the gate. She led the way to a square with a smile. An enormous number of joyful angels gathered in the square, and I watched them. Although some angels talked, others danced. Their excitement lit up the square and amazed and made me happy. According to the angels, this is the inviting center of heaven. An amazing party is held by the angels for every new soul. This square of love welcomes everyone with God's kindness and gifts. Gorgeous angels were all around me. Their bodies' pure brightness warmed me. Everyone from Seoul came dressed in white. The angels told me that this is what people normally wear in heaven, which signifies how pure our hearts are. Finally, this group of souls found a lovely pond. As the angel poured water from the stream over them, a bright light appeared. Later, the angels filled the room with lovely music. The souls danced to the beautiful music. I could feel how happy and content they were because they seemed to be completely absorbed in this incredible setting. The angels showed these souls the way to their new homes after the opening event. Within heaven, I saw many places to live where a soul could choose to start a new life. The yard is beautiful, with trees and flowers. Here, souls could unwind and enjoy the view. It was clean to swim in the little lake in the garden center. Spirits could relax here by themselves. I saw an active city where people were learning. Forgetting friends and enjoying the unique buildings were possible here. Eventually, I saw a town on the sea. There were beaches with white sand and a blue Pacific Ocean. Sunshine and handmade goods were available in this town. Different souls could choose a place to live based on their tastes and interests. What I wanted to do to explore was not allowed by the angel next to me. A smiley angel told me, "You can go see the gardens here and also take a walk by the river." This made no sense to me. We walked until we got to the river. In the clear water at the bottom of the river, you could see every rock. Numerous individuals were conversing along the riverbank. They looked like they were in no pain and were happy. Since we followed the angel, we ended up in a big library with lots of books. This place has records of human history, the angel told me. Happy feelings and peace filled the air in heaven. Angel showed me the way to another building. According to her, this place belongs to God. To satisfy my curiosity, I asked the angel to let me in right away. The angel smiled and said, "Take you back. Your time has not yet come. You haven't finished your job yet." I was sure that God wanted me to do it, even though I didn't know how. When the angel brought me back to my actual body, my beating and breathing came back. Upon opening my eyes, I felt very uneasy. The floor was bloody and shaking with my husband's hands. I heard him crying and begging for forgiveness. Exactly what did I do? Exactly what did I do? It was the same line over and over again. Personally, I found his look baffling. Since I was too weak to talk, all I could do was look at him. Sobbing, he begged me not to call 911. He sounded scared and desperate in his tone. He assisted me in calling the emergency number. In addition to taking me to the hospital, the cops were called right away. Due to intentional injury, my husband was arrested. The divorce moved quickly, and I felt like I had dodged a nightmare. Because I believed I could get through anything, I wasn't scared anymore. Later, I joined a group that helps people who have been abused at home. After these actions, I felt important and valued what I had more. Without telling me, my ex-husband quit fighting. 8 years later, I found out. On that day, people I didn't know called me. Strangely, but still clearly, the man's voice could be recognized. My ex-husband stole my contact information. Still begging for forgiveness, he said he didn't want to go to hell after he died. When I got this call, I was shocked. He told what happened that night. He was holding an ashtray and trying to hit me in the head by hitting me. His movement was suddenly stopped by something he couldn't see. While looking at the bright light, a white man came out. It looked like God being human to him. The person asked, "Are you sure you want to kill your wife?" Suddenly, he got an electric shock, lacking the ability to respond. Need God's forgiveness. His question was asked by the white man. Get to work saving your spouse. He stopped using violence after he realized he was wrong. He called the clinic. When the phone rang, I remembered that night. Thank you for forgiving me and wishing my ex-husband a happy life. Still, the call made me realize how nice people can be. I hope he keeps feeling better.